Hi, welcome back. This is Nzella from Nzella.com. This is part 7 of the Kwanzaa for the Filmmaker series. We made it, another year. Happy New Year. Before I forget, I'm going to be joined later on by Charity Thomas, one of my closest friends who I've known for 20 years now. And she's a writer and performer, and she's a wonderful person. But before that, I'm going to read the principle of Imani, which is the last principle of Kwanzaa, and that means faith. And it says to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And the great thing about faith as a concept is that it is it embodies everything. So in order to do the work we're supposed to do, I think we need to start off from a position of faith. And so faith then feeds into all that stuff that we're working on. But working on the other principles of Kwanzaa, so the unity and the declarations, working together, getting our money together, how we spend our time and purpose and our creativity, that needs to be sustained by faith. But by doing all those things as well consistently, I think that that's a way to maintain the faith, is to do that stuff. So I think it goes both ways, and that's a great thing about Kwanzaa as the lens to see things through. Anyway, so I'm gonna call on Charity Thomas now, and we're gonna do a creative entrance. Ladies and gentlemen, Charity Thomas. So we, like I said, we went to Howard together.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Yeah. We did our first films together.
Yes, and so Charity's been my friend and part of my creative community and family for 2 decades.
He is my creative love.
Thank you. And so faith.
When I moved to this apartment,
Uh-huh.
2013. So I moved here in 96. So that's 17 years ago.
Yeah.
We moved here on faith, the things. And because my roommate and I didn't have a job, and we just got it. And I've been here for 17 years.
Yeah.
Late, whatever. But what I know is like this is my space.
Yes.
And regardless of what happens in my life, I always get to keep my space. Like that's never a terror as such.
Yeah. But
I know I'm supposed to be here. And that hasn't wavered in 20 years.
And in terms of what made you take that leap of faith to try and move in here? I think 'cause that's the part of the question for artists is like what's the thing that urges you to take that leap?
That's when you have to trust your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
You have to trust your gut.
Yeah.
You have to trust that you are in a place that you will fight for and that belongs to you.
Yeah.
Whether it like legally, whatever the world tells you all those words are.
Yeah.
For capitalism.
Yeah.
Belongs to you. But like this is my town and this is my space in this town. This one belongs to me, and it was supposed to belong to me.
Yeah.
And it has. I got a storytelling night. I started telling stories here.
Yeah.
I started telling stories here.
And what I think is interesting about that, in terms of the Kwanzaa concepts, is by starting that storytelling night, you created your community.
Right.
Artists who have a similar sensibility. We all have different stories to tell, but But I think the thing that runs through it is people's love of telling stories.
Yes. And of being together. You know, like humans telling stories to each other is what we do. It's part of our condition. It's cave drawing.
Yeah.
It's the way that we communicate with one another. And so that is part of a humanity.
Yeah.
That is outside of any marketing corporate scheme, whatever, however you think about that, there's still going to be human beings that tell each other stories. So me knowing that and trusting that, and knowing that that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Ever. Because it hasn't gone away yet.
No.
Then, like, for 8 billion years, it hasn't gone away yet. Then it's, for whatever reason, I am in this space at this time for that to happen. And it might not happen as quickly as I want, and I might need to do whatever work I need to do as a human for myself, like outside of a market idea of it.
Yeah.
But it's the work that I have to do. That's our purpose.
Yeah.
And our purpose is our calling. And in our purpose, then, you know, it sucks today. We don't have patrons. We don't have, you know, like storytellers and artists. They always have somebody who, because we're not what the money or capital sees as productive.
Yeah, and back in the day they had patrons. Now it would be corporate
It's
sponsorship.
corporate sponsorship,
Now it would be corporate
but you still got to
sponsorship.
deal with a corporate sponsor.
Exactly. Because it's ultimately about the needs of that sponsor,
Yeah,
rather than the art itself.
Patronage is something that's gone. But I'm sure, like, Kickstarter, I think, is a form of patronage.
Yes,
and for us to be able to build our own thing. But we have to say and trust, because faith is trust.
Yeah.
Is trust that there's somebody out there, even if it's like 10,000 people scattered all over this gigantic planet that we're rolling around on.
Yeah.
But there is somebody out there who will give you $1, who will give you $10.
Exactly.
Somebody might give you $10,000. You're like, what? You know, but like the faith that if you keep doing what you know is your purpose, is your calling, that the universe provides.
Yeah. Now, how do you, in terms of what you're trying to do, how does the community help you and sustain you? Like, what ways?
Creatively.
Yeah.
I got to do the whole first position, second position,
Yeah.
like rise up out of the ground, because that's my particular creative sensibility today.
And when you first suggested that, I was like, oh! And then I was like, I like that idea. So.
Right? But it's still us.
Exactly.
Playing, because we've been playing at this. I'm going to look at the thing. Hi. We've been playing at this for 20 years, and we get to play.
Exactly.
And we get to still, hopefully, have somebody grab hold to somebody who's sitting next to them or near them and say, hey, you want to do this?
Yes.
And
I have this idea.
I have this idea. You want to do this? And it's like, let's go for it. Like, what do we have to lose?
Exactly.
Because the more we don't have anything to lose, and the more we get to deal with our creative beasts inside of ourselves, and we get to let them unleash themselves in the way that we can make all these little tiny kind of bursts and moments of art. Because that's life.
That is.
I
Think. And what things do we do in 2013 to keep the faith? Like, how do we, when we're in the weeds and dealing with life, like, what kinds of things do we, or do you suggest we do to keep the faith?
Go back to your favorite works. Go back to the things that made you want to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it would be like listening to my favorite stories on Risk and Moth, and like what Risk Show really is the thing that inspired me to stand on a stage and tell a story. And to hear them again, and to be present in the moment that it touched whatever buttons in you that was like, I got this. I can totally do this. I can do this. Like, whatever it was that made you step onto the plank of whatever it is. It's a plank.
Yeah, and so reconnecting with that.
And keep filling that up, and to treat it sensitively, and to coddle it, and to let it be a baby, and as it becomes a toddler, to run with it. and not be like, I'm so tired, I don't feel like doing that. Like, chase after it and be like, okay, fine, I'll do that. Like, just to keep going.
Yeah, but you're talking, when you talk about going back to work that we love, so you're rereading Another Country.
Another Country.
And I remember one of my issues when, like, reading Baldwin is that pressure to, oh my gosh,
I'm never going to be that good
that's
ever
the
in my
bar
whole life.
that's been set.
That's it.
Yeah, and so at least now looking at it as a way of inspiration, but not for comparison.
Well, that's when you trust yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you trust yourself in your art. That's when you trust that I don't have to be Baldwin, I can be me and I can still be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to be Baldwin, I can be me and I can still be excellent.
Exactly.
And I can be incendiary and I can be non-PC and I can sound like me.
Exactly. And
he sounded like him, and as I'm reading it, it's it's amazing. Yeah. But I'm not comparing my work to him. I'm using him as a model instead.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I won't even write, what's the point? I'm never going to be Baldwin. No, I'm not. Because I'm not.
Exactly.
But I'd rather be Charity.
Yeah. And we would rather you be Charity.
Well, she's not so bad. Every day I learn to love her more. And that's really what it comes to.
Yeah.
Like, every day we learn to love our artists as
ourselves.
Ourselves.
Exactly. And not as the separate thing.
Not as, I got this day job and then I do this.
Yeah.
Like, as an integrated whole human.
Yes.
The more we become that, then we can, I think that my faith part of it is that the universe will always provide for that person.
Yes.
Like, because that's our goal in life. Our goal in life is to be enlightened, is to be an enlightened human, I think.
I agree.
And if we move closer to it, then we move closer to our own kind of divinity, as however it is. Like, even atheists can kind of believe in that kind of divinity.
Yeah, and then in terms of where our work comes in is that as we discover who we are and we put stuff out, you hope that it touches people, either touch more people or touch the people who it touches deeper.
If you're telling the truth, it's always going to touch somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you tell the truth.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a quick toast to 2013. All right, so I'm going to start and say to a wonderful year of good people, good friends, great creations, passion, fulfillment.
Fulfillment?
Yes.
Ah, it's good.
Thank you.
That's good. I say, wait, because I don't want 7 years of bad sex.
Okay.
We have to do it at the same time.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because 7 years of bad sex
would
be a nightmare.
not be an option.
Ditto.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yes,
and
cheers.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 2013. Woo!